Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Saturday, August 6th, 2022, and tonight I'll be covering more paranormal news in an extra show. So, as always, to find all the episodes of the podcast, along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me, you can always find all those at the podcast page, which is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal dot podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions for shows, or if you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And we can always work around whatever schedule we need to for that. So, and let's see here. So tonight is what I'm going to probably call Paranormal News Extra in the episode title, description, and everything. And so tomorrow will be more true paranormal stories from the web. And Wednesday will be another review show. And that will get us into the middle of next week. So I'm doing this show because I just had a lot of extra stories stored up in my email, and I figured this way we'll get close to being caught up to more current events if I just did this extra show, and I felt like doing something tonight, so had no other plans. So thank you all for being here for the extra show, and also thank you all for listening, whether you're here for the live streams or you listen on the podcast or YouTube feeds. Always appreciated. So I will include all of the links to these stories in the episode descriptions for those platforms, and I've already put them all in the stream chat text channel as well. So you can all look at them and read the articles in full. So we have a mix of ancient civilization stories with some more paranormal stories tonight. So with that, I think we can begin. This first article here is from globaltimes.co, and this article says, "Are China's Sensing, I'm not sure how you say that exactly. Sensing Doi ruins, basically these ruins in China linked to foreign or even alien civilizations." And this is something that has been coming up, and again, there's an author here that I'm not sure how you say the name. But this is a topic that you're going to see in one other article here tonight. And I really think that, in a way, even if these ideas end up being maybe not accurate, or it takes a lot longer to prove them someday, just the fact that these ideas are coming up in articles that are not, that are basically regular articles on regular websites that are not necessarily into the paranormal. The fact that these titles and these ideas are coming up in these articles, to me, is really amazing. And so I always like to point these out when when I find them, because again, I don't think we really know. I don't think we can know everything that's happened in the past, especially the further back we go. So, so I'm always going to share these kind of articles, and this one, the subtitle says "Mysterious Connections." Uh, is the subtitle for this article, and it has pictures, and it mentions that um, there some of these artifacts. These ideas are based on these artifacts that have been found in these archaeological sites, including bronze altars that uh, let's see here. They they lead to these ideas. So, looking further into this article here, and so the I guess based this is based on images and these different artifacts, and you can see them on different TV shows as well. But there's images on these artifacts that look almost alien-like. But there's also the matter of the dating behind these objects, and that seem to be the dates for when these were made or created seem to be pushed back further and further over time, um, which is really amazing to me that this is happening. And so let's see here. Looking into this article more, and apparently these cultures or these civilizations, uh, even though they are far back in time to us, they have hints at even earlier civilizations that were around before them. And so, but these artifacts, they have things like animal faces, fish or bird patterns, and so some of these bronze items are found in central China and South China, and so these are items that are similar to the ones at this one site. Uh, so let me see here. I'm looking further into this article. Um, so there seem to be this article is saying connections between these sites in all across the area, the part of the world, and that's apparently why they're suggesting that these some of these artifacts and some of these civilizations they don't really know for sure where they came from. And so let's see here. Looking at more of the article, um, and it's referring back to the artifacts. Some of these statues, it says, have different shapes in them, pillar-shaped eyes, which is odd. That's an odd shape. While it says the eyes of other bronze statues are very large, making them look like popular depictions of little gray men in sci-fi stories. It says, um, and so that's why this article is suggesting, I guess, um, the idea of alien civilizations. And of course, the logical explanation is that it's just artistic exaggeration. Um, but again, uh, with everything that seems to be happening these days, with the dates of various the earliest people when the earliest people were here or there at different parts of the world, and these artifacts that are found uh, that just seem to have these strange figures in them, really makes me wonder about possibilities going back further than we even have archaeological records for. So, just a neat idea, and it's neat to see it show up in these kind of articles. So, so that's the first one. Oops, looks like I scrolled up and didn't mean to. There we go. Okay. So, yep, that's the first one. Um, and then we move on to the next one here. This next one is from nationalgeographic.co.uk. And this was something that I'm interested in, but don't know a ton about. But this article, the title is "These 5 Secret Societies Changed the World from Behind Closed Doors," and this subtitle here, this other extra line below that says from the Oracle of Delphi to the Freemasons, covert cults and clandestine clubs. Okay, have existed in different cultures for millennia. And this one is, I'm not sure how to say that author's name either for sure. Again, you can look into these articles for all the details. Um, and so this article mentions that secret societies have been around since the rise of the first great civilizations, ranging from religious cults to political associations to college fraternities. And so this is a thing, some kind of this organization of these groups goes back, um, who knows how far back in time, really. And so this article just talks about some of these places and these groups that had influences on uh, the world around them. So it already mentioned the Oracle Delphi, and then the Freemasons, um, the cult of Mithras. Let's see who else it mentions here. The Knights Templar. There should be one more. I'm scrolling through a lot of this here because there's no way to get through all of it. Um, let's see here. Looking for the next title here. Freemasons, it said already. And this one I don't know how to say for sure. So this one appears to be in China. So, um, but yeah, I just thought that this was a neat idea for an article, and it's quite long, so definitely would recommend reading it. And goes into some stuff that, like that last group I hadn't even heard of. So, neat topic to look into. And so there you go. So let me see here. This next article is from ancient-origins.net. And this one, the title is "The Cyclopean Problem: Who Built Italy's Astounding Ancient Walls?" And this is from Laura Tabone. Not sure if I'm saying that last name right. And this article is talking about this masonry that is found in many parts of Italy. This type of masonry, it says, involves fitting together huge, differently shaped stone blocks without mortar in a way that leaves no gaps between them. And so this article says that scholars attribute them to the Romans, but there's apparently many reasons why some researchers think they may be uh, more ancient in origin. A little play on their website name here. It says, for one, although the highest intensity of polygonal walls appears in the Lazlo region, there are none in Rome itself. So, So let's see here. Goes into more detail about where these are at and how they're made. Um, so it says there are hundreds of visible examples of them, uh, making up parts of fortifications on hills, aqueducts, road substructures, agricultural terraces, and then villa platforms, among other places. And they tend to make the foundations of these buildings. Um, so there's more there, but I'm not sure. It's kind of confusing me, so I'll leave that. Um, so I think I'll leave the rest of this for everyone else to get into. But I've heard of this kind of architecture before, and I like these kind of articles that talk about these strange things that don't quite make sense to some people. So that's all for that one. And again, this is the other article that I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the episode. Let's see here. This one is from thesun.co.uk. And let's see here. So this one is, the title is, once I can get to it. Oops, I'm not finding it. One moment. Okay. This one, the title says phone home alien civilization may have lived on Earth millions of years before humans. Bonkers study claims. And this is from Tyler Baum. Not sure if I'm saying that last name right. So this article is about an academic study that it says have left readers wondering if another society could have called Earth home before humans occupied the planet. So this let's see here. This isn't a very long article, but again, this is the main thing that caught my attention here was just the idea that these are articles that are being based on, it says here, an academic study. So articles that are being based on, at least very loosely, maybe in some cases, but still, based on based on academic writings and thoughts. So this the article says that the study effectively asks if there were an advanced society on Earth before us, how would we know it? And it's the only reason why this caught my attention is I seem to remember talking with some friends about this recently. So that's funny how this came up after that. It says the structures and bodies of an ancient developed society would have an extremely low chance of being found. Mentions the fraction of life that gets fossilized is always extremely small and is varied due to time, habitat, and degree of soft tissue versus hard shells or bones. It says that the society would be hard to find because of the chaos and destruction needed to exterminate a civilization. The signs of life could be lost to time. And they're talking about over the course of a few million years here. So, and this doesn't mention it in this article, but this is making me think of things like out of place artifacts that are found in different places around the world. things that seem to be modern, and yet they're found buried in so many layers of earth and other materials, and they don't make sense. So again, that's not mentioned in the article. That's just what came to my mind when just now reading this through this article here. So again, I love when these kind of things are brought up, and especially when they're brought up in outside of paranormal, or, as we say, fringe topic circles. So I'm always glad to see this. This next one is, I don't like it, but I wonder if it's true. And I guess if you look at this through more of a historical lens, then it makes it a little more, I don't know, a little bit easier to read through. But um, I kind of hope that someday we can get beyond this, but we'll see what happens, I guess. And this article is from bigthink.com. And I don't know how much if I agree with this or not. This is just something that does seem to, again, this is about war, and it's something that seems to be part of the world that almost any given time, in one place or another. So the title is, "Did War Help Societies Become Bigger and More Complex?" And this article says, let's see here. I'm looking here. Not looking. I'm not seeing an author here, but I'm sure it's there. So just check out the article. This says, using data collected from ancient civilizations across the world, researchers identified the most significant factors in human development, and war came out on top. So, and it says key takeaways here. It says about 10,000 years ago, civilization began to develop at an exponential rate. Scholars have often explained this growth through two broad theories. One focuses on agriculture, and the other on conflict. And says this year, researchers looked at statistics of ancient empires to determine which of the two was more important. So, and the author is Tim Brinkoff, I believe. And so this looks like it's a lot deeper than what I'm able to really explain or understand here. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe just wanted to point this out and say hopefully that this is not accurate. Hopefully we can, even if it was accurate before, hopefully we can get past it at some point. So that was my main thing I wanted to mention about that article. And with that, we are done with the ancient civilization articles, and getting into more of the paranormal side of things. So let's see here. Looking, and we have 4 articles left, so we're about halfway done. This is from walesonline.co.uk, and the title is Doctor Baffled at UFO Sighting while taking out the bins, which means the garbage or the trash. And there's a quote from the person, apparently says, "I don't think it was a plane, drone, laser, or star because of how fast it moved." So, and this is basically another report of lights, of orbs seen in the sky. and not only that, but fast-moving orbs. So, um, I always like to share these articles because we really don't know what they are. They're thought of in a lot of ways as UFOs, um, but all we know for sure is they're lights, and we don't really know what those are, what kind of energy they're made of, what's behind them. But yeah, I like to share these sightings because they seem to be happening uh, on a fairly regular basis. The article also mentions that the witness was a doctor and did not believe in anything like this before catching this or seeing this, having this sighting. So I also like that in a way. It's not like it's someone that people could say they're already making a paranormal channel or they're already into the topic. This is someone that supposedly um, was not into any of this. So, neat little sighting, and just wanted to mention that. So, and so that'll be it for that one. Basically, just wanted to mention that sighting. Um, so these next two are from a website that is coming up a lot lately in these episodes, and that is only in my state. No, only in your state. I'm sorry. I always forget. I guess it's because of the Y's and the N, the Y, and in, and then Euro almost looks like my. So only in your state.com. And this is getting into more of these places that are said to be haunted. And this is a music hall in Ohio. This is from Jessica Bull, not sure. And let's see here. Um, so this is a this place is in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's a Victorian Gothic revival style. There are pictures in the article. I definitely recommend checking out these articles. And so, and it's called the Cincinnati Music Hall, and it's located across from the historic Washington Park in a place called Over the Rhine, and it is over the Rhine, just a few minutes from downtown Cincinnati. Apparently, it was completed in 1878, and it was designed to um, have basically hold musical performances and exhibitions. It says. So let's see here. Looking into this more, looking for the paranormal side of everything. It says in 1975, it was recognized as a National Historic Landmark for its distinctive features. Venetian Gothic architecture, it says. And so let's see here. It's still being used today. So there's it's not only the paranormal that you can see when you go there. It says that part of this hall was built over in 1800s Potter's Field, which is a kind of cemetery for um, for people without funds, let's say. Um, this is the kind of field where poor or unidentified or unclaimed remains are buried. So there is also a in the early 1800s. It says there was a Cincinnati Orphans Asylum was built next to the site, and uh, it also became a uh, place where people with infectious diseases were held. So it does sound like the area has a history of, let's say, not so pleasant times. Um, so apparently, when the excavations for the music hall started in 1876, um, remains were found. Human bones basically were found around the foundation, and so that's where it's believed that the hauntings are coming from. And as far as what has been witnessed there, some people have seen and heard things late at night. Others have heard the sound of music when there is none playing. There's also been reports of people seeing children in period dress and period clothes. So, um, which would make sense with given that orphanage being so close there. It could be residual activity. Doesn't necessarily mean anything that had to happen to the children. It could just be time anomalies or just residual um, energy that's there still. So a neat little article about that location. And this next one is also from Only in Your State. Now this one I like just because it's a bookstore, and I like books. Um, this is in Texas, and it's from Katie Lawrence. The title of this one is "The Oldest Independent Bookstore in Texas is also one of the most haunted places in the state." And this is known as Barber's Bookstore, uh, and it's known as the oldest independent bookstore in the state, opened in 1925. Um, and so let's see here. So this apparently has been open since, oh, it's repeating itself already in a way. But apparently it moved several times over the years, but it finally landed in a three-store building in, let's see here. Doesn't say the town. I'm not seeing the town. But this building had a number of other companies or businesses in it, including a hotel, a cafe, um, and other things. Apparently, on the third floor, hotel room numbers can still be seen above the door frames. Excuse me. And so this mentions, again, that's a bookstore, and it's it's basically full. There are so it's a good sized selection of books. This also, it says that the books in the store are not really organized in any certain way, but that can also be fun to look through. I would think just finding books at random. As for um, the ghost stories, there's one uh, event that happens in here where the lights will flicker and books will fall onto the floor, and then um, this is all attributed to one spirit. Doesn't give the details of who it is, but and the spirit is also said to walk up and down the stairs that lead to the old hotel. It says, again, the identity of the spirit is unknown, but they say it's possible that they met some ill fate in the store. It says in the article, just kind of talking about ghost lore and all that, and why spirits stay in places. So that seems to be the bulk of the activity there, but that's a lot in a way if you think about it. I'm guessing footsteps up and down stairs, flickering lights, and then books being moved around on their own, thrown around. So that's quite a lot, especially if it's happening all at once. So, neat little story though. Just like I said, I thought it was a neat article just because I like books. So, I have one more article left here for today, and this is from klaw.com. And I actually found a couple articles about this. This is the first one I found. But this one, the title is Take a Terrifying Road Trip on This Oklahoma Haunted Highway. And apparently this is, let's see here, Highway 20, I believe. Let me look and find it. So let's see here. I believe it was 20. But, so this is, okay, yes, it is Highway 20. And there's a legend that is associated with this highway. It says that it runs from Pryor to Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's rumored, it says, to be haunted by a phantom hitchhiker looking for a ride. And this is, a lot of times with these, they're usually women or girls, but this is actually described as a young boy, around 10 to 12 years old, that is seen by people who have actually stopped and even given him a ride. And so let's see here. Apparently, I'm guessing now. Let's see here. I'm scrolling down here to see what happens. It doesn't say what happens after the. Okay, so it mentions that this the story behind this is there a woman named Doria. We'll just use the last name they use. Was driving down the road. This legend starts in 1965, and she saw a past a school with a young boy out front. And she stopped to make sure he was okay, and ended up giving him a ride home. And it says that after she started going again, they headed towards Pryor, Oklahoma, and they started talking, and the boy said he was into basketball and was an athlete. So eventually the boy asked to be let out and tried to describe where he lived. But at some point the boy begins to cry, and he gets upset and asks her to pull over. And when she pulls over and looks in the back seat of the car, there it is. The boy is gone. And of course, this is without having either of the car doors open. This does fit in with that whole legend, or that whole story that is repeated over and over throughout time, of people, either boy, in this case it's a boy, but a hitchhiker catching a ride with someone and then vanishing before, without even getting out of the vehicle. So, let's see here. So yeah, that's the story behind this road, and so then it goes into more sightings in other locations. But just another example of these articles that keep on talking about these kinds of events that have happened for decades now, and for all we know, still happen today. So neat little legend there, and I do think all these legends, they start somewhere, and who knows, maybe in some cases um there actually is or was a spirit of a uh someone on a road there that gets into a car and then ends up vanishing. So that's it for today. Thank you, uh thank you all for being here and for listening to this extra show. um it was fun to do. Again, like I said, I do miss having the show every weeknight, but this was nice to do an extra one here. So tomorrow night I'll be back with true paranormal stories from the web, and so looking forward to that. So thank you all for listening again, and I will talk to you all tomorrow night on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care.